Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Borderwise and welcome to a short video on why drills in From the Depths are terrible. So what spurs on this video is some time ago I made a video about my opinion at the very least, on what is the weapon tier list in this wonderful video game From the Depths. And right at the bottom at F tier, I had put cram cannons because, in my experience, cram cannons, as wonderful and fun and powerful as they are, they're just not as versatile as other weapons, etc., etc. Multiple reasons. But here's the thing: as the comments section wisely pointed out, there was an entire category of weapons that I missed in that video, and I missed out on them because they are so terrible, and I've never used them that I completely forgot they exist, and that is drills. So we're talking both simple weapon drills and steam drills, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, there's a few melee options you have in From the Depths, which are on display right here, just so we can look at them for comparison. And the thing with drills is that at first glance they may seem comparable to the other options you have in terms of, well, most things, efficiency, damage, etc., etc. But in terms of overall effectiveness and efficientness and just practical usage, they're outdone in every single way by other better options. So, to start off with, we're going to start with, I guess, a quick overview of the other melee options, why they're good. Simple weapon rams are very, very powerful. It's easy to get them up to speed. You can just make a fast vehicle, stick rams on the front, and away you go. It works. Or you can stick them on spin blocks that make them absolutely devastating. Or you can also stick them on spin blocks and pistons and just have ridiculously strong melee lances, so to speak. And they don't require any engine power, or any extra engine power rather. They are quite heavy, but that's easy to compensate for. For the lightweight options, you have the energy weapon version. So laser cutters I'm not tremendously fond of. I've never really found a practical use for them. Apparently there are. In particular, if you go here, they apply 10 times more damage and 10 times more armor penetration than a laser combiner, so they're very strong, and they do hit missiles. So you can, theoretically, haven't tried it yet, create missile traps. You can stick a decoy or something in there on a Seawiz turret and then have a laser cutter like this, and it can just act like a fly swatter and just zap missiles non-stop. And yeah, so that's a pretty useful thing. Laser cutters are pretty lightweight as well, so they're good for things that need to stay light. And then you have particle cannon melee lenses, which I have made a thing that uses before. I showed it off in a particle cannon tutorial I did some time ago. And these are pretty straightforward. Like, this one setup isn't particularly strong because it's like very short pipes. But similar story, they're a bit heavier than the lasers version, but still. In fact, they're quite a bit heavier now I think about it. But yeah, they're quite strong, and they project a kind of particle beam distance away from your craft, so it's quite handy dandy. And I think, yep, we're damaging. Whoopsie daisy. Yep, we're about to. Yep, and there it goes. So yeah, they do a lot of that. Actually melted that heavy armor beam like remarkably quickly. But yeah, so these are all perfectly viable options. I would favor rams over anything else, but that's just me. As to why drills are terrible, let's start with simple weapon drills. And the disclaimer that I am not all-knowing in From the Depths. No one truly is. Anyone who says they are is lying or very egotistical, and you should ignore them. But I have seen an awful lot of craft in From the Depths. I have gone through all, or at least most, faction vehicles that are present in the game. I've browsed the workshop a lot. I did review videos on craft back in the day. I have seen an awful lot of From the Depths vehicles. Never once, not even once, have I seen anybody use simple weapon drills for anything other than decoration. And even then, it's with mimics and the decoration mechanic, rather than actually using the drill parts themselves. That alone speaks volumes about how useful these things actually are. They're not very useful. For a start, this setup here, which volume-wise is much smaller than all the options over here, does piddly damage. So the damage of this large drill bit right here is just over 1,300, armor pierce of 3. You compare that to this particle cannon setup, which just melted a heavy armor beam, and this thing, which, let's be perfectly honest, isn't even going at full speed. So if I stick this here, it appears to be stuck. Never mind. Maybe I should make it spin faster. But in any case, I actually thought that would work. Why did I think that? But in any case, this does piddly damage. It needs to get very big. It does not use engine power, which is an advantage, but neither do just spin block rams. And, like, it's more complicated. Like, all I did to get this thing working was make an X of heavy armor, and it doesn't have to be heavy armor, by the way. You could just cover metal with rams. Stick a bunch of rams on it, and now I've set the spin block to just spin at 1 radius per second, and I can really crank it up. And this is the kind of thing that just melts blocks like nobody's business, because if I pause the game, you'll see that the current speed of the ram is very, very high, and the higher the impact velocity, the higher the damage. So these things go, when these things go fast, they go really fast, and they just work extremely well with spin blocks for that very reason. You don't need something to go very fast in order to have spin block rams be very, very powerful. These guys, none of those advantages really. They don't do more damage the faster you go, and it's not very good, and taking up more volume. And then we get to steam rams. Now, at first glance, this looks pretty good. So this is a small steam drill head. It's not a very big steam engine. And the contact damage is like just shy of 40,000. Armor piercing of 100. And that seems right, doesn't it? Well, the problem is that this requires that you know how to use steam engines, which I freely admit I am very bad at. This is actually a steam engine that I improvised out of one of the prefabs that's available in the Steam Engine menu. And yeah, so some people gravitate towards steam engines. They learn them really quickly, and in fact think that they are easier than fuel engines. I am not one of those people. I still have trouble discussing steam engines, how they really work, even though I use them every so often, and even though, like, I've been trying to get better at them, and I've even made some decent steam engines, I can't explain them for peanuts. So that is a major mark against them. So if you know how to make lasers, you can make a decent laser cutter. If you can know particle cannons, you can make one of these. If you know, well, I guess if you know steam, you can use steam drills, but why would you? Because you can use the steam to power something else, or you can use steam jets to make the thing go fast with rams, or just something like that, and they are kind of delicate. So if you look at the, say, the health-wise of this setup right here, spin blocks are actually pretty decent. So, actually, no, they're not. Never mind. I lied. Forget I just said that. But rams in heavy armor, they're pretty tough. So, rams, where are they? Where are they? I forgot where they were. So, 1,000 health and 40 armor. Steam drills are pretty tough as well, so 2,000 health, 60 armor, and but once you get out of the small steam, like the smaller steam drills, they get to kind of heavy and also kind of expensive. Like large steam drill pieces are really, really heavy. So yeah, just it adds up a lot in terms of expense and weight. And I was talking about durability before. The fact that your durable weapon relies on, melee weapon, mind you, relies on somewhat more delicate systems right behind it, like 200 health, 20 armor, stuff like that. It has to be connected, so you can use sealed shafts to kind of mitigate that, but you don't always have good control over where your craft gets hit, and having your melee weapon rely on, well, like big engines that can get shut down, it's just not as good in practice, because you will get blown up. It's not if, it's when. These things don't require, like, any backline at all. Like, at all. And even, like, look how self-contained these little particle cannons are. They don't require any backline. You can just... they're on their own. Like, they require battery power, but battery power has multiple uses. So yeah, it's just drills in practice. Just, they're not as good as other melee options, so I guess they're at F- tier? G tier? Z tier? Whatever letter you want to stick on it. So yeah, that's basically the brief on why drills are not very good. Although, I am open to being proven wrong. If any of you watching this know of Craft on the Workshop, in particular, that use these things to great effectiveness, and this is important, use them in a way that it cannot be done conceivably better by the other melee options we have over here, I would love to hear about it, so post in the comments below. And on that merry note, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. I should really do a just general melee craft tutorial, shouldn't I? Oh well, that's for another day. Farewell!